Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the sixth technical session. Audit and auditors under the new compliance regime. We have with us very eminent speaker, CA Bhavani Balasubramaniam Madam, and ably chaired by Regional Council Member of ICAI, CA Sri Priya Kumar. Friends, on behalf of each and every one of you here, let me welcome both madams, CA Bhavani Balasubramaniam and CA Sri Priya Kumar to the dais, please. For both the dynamic ladies of Chennai. They say, if we talk softly and breathe deeply, dress smartly, work patiently, behave decently, save regularly, eat sensibly, sleep sufficiently, act fearlessly, think creatively, earn honestly, and thereby spend intelligently. That's the success in life. Friends, let me first take the privilege of welcoming both the ladies who will be taking us through this technical session. Let me first invite Lakshmi, Company Secretary Lakshmi, to welcome the technical session chairman, C.S. Sri Priya Kumar, with a floral bouquet and a shawl. It's a pleasure to have you, madam, here. Lakshmi is a young company secretary and she will be taking up her practice in recent times. And let me invite Smita Anand, a cost accountant, practicing cost accountant and also a faculty member of costing in ICWI, to welcome Madam CA Bhavani Balasubramaniam with a floral bouquet and a shawl. Before I hand over the able hands of Sri Priya Kumar, it will be my privilege to introduce both the dynamic ladies. Let me first take the privilege of introducing C.A. Sri Priya Kumar, sitting council member, my co-council colleague in the regional council, the only lady candidate, lady member of the regional council, with highest number of votes in the recent 2012 election, 1556 votes. That's something amazing and a remarkable record, especially a history she has created. Friends, for that a big round of applause for C.S. Sri Priya Kumar. She is a chairperson of the GMCS coordination committee and also the internal audit committee of the CRC of ICAI. Her strength are her high energy levels, enthusiasm and the zeal to excel. Actually, that's the motto of this company also. Very rare to see. Maybe 10 years back, women chartered accountants coming to practice. I am fortunate, my mother is also a practicing chartered accountant. Very rare, maybe 10 or 20 years back. So today we are much privileged to have two chartered accountants practicing chartered accountants, and they are the example for the women empowerment and the young ladies, smart ladies of current generation. They are more inspired from their achievements. She commenced her practice in 2002 with a firm brand SPR and Co, and is presently in active practice. Her specialization is risk consulting and internal audit, largely for engineering and FMCG majors. She belonged to a 1996 batch of CA, did her article with Pricewaterhouse, and had a brief stint with Ford India before joining practice. She is very active with ICAI, both in academic content development and also presenting papers as a resource person. She has presented papers on risk-based audit across southern India, especially in some of the cities like Salem, Tirupur, Erode, Coimbatore, Tuticorin, Bangalore, Mysore, etc. Friends, she is also the ex officio member of 3 branches of SARC of ICI, Coimbatore, Vellore and Tuticorin. In short, a confident, dynamic, passionate and absolutely inspiring. That's Sri Priya. Friends, join your hands for CS Sri Priya Kumar. The next person whom I am going to introduce, maybe one sentence is enough when she delivers her subject. With such meticulous delivery will be her, you don't need to see her slides, you can even close your eyes and hear. A person who can explain the color to a blind. That's how she will take us through her subject, because audit is her expertise. Srimati Bhavani Balasubramaniam is a double professional, a chartered accountant and a company secretary, partner of Fraser and Ross and Deloitte Haskins and Sells, with extensive experience in auditing variety of clients including listed and multinationals. She is a national audit risk leader in Deloitte with 15 years being the national learning director, and had also been the National Practice Review Director for more than 5 years. She is presently the chairman of the expert committee of company law of Madras Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and also the chairman and co-chairman of National Company Law and Corporate Affairs, and also the Associated Chamber of Commerce and Industry in India. She has been a member and special invitee, especially to the Auditing and Assurance Standards Board of ICI for more than 6 years. She is also a peer reviewer of ICI and a member of the Chennai 2 Financial Reporting Review Group of FRRB, Financial Review Reporting Board of ICI. She has supported on academic with respect to ICI in authoring the following 3 books of ICA publications: Practitioner's Guide to Audit of Small Entities, Implementation Guide to Risk-Based Audit of Financial Statements, both first and second edition, and background material on auditing and assurance standards. A recent e-learning project on standards on auditing has been conceived and implemented by her. Especially working on an academic content, definitely we need to concentrate lot of time. So much of time will be involved because of collating the information and then putting it in the language at which the industry and the members can perceive, and then going it for 3 or 4 rounds of the proof reading. Definitely it is a strenuous job. Madam, congratulations for always being part of the Institute's initiative. One line about her: Anbanavar, Kalagalapanavar, Tanikai Vallunar, Tirumadi C.A. Bhavani Balasubramaniam. Friends, please join your hands. I have pleasure and pride in presenting before you both the madams. And let us hear from Sri Priya Kumar, her opening remarks, then from Madam Bhavani.
At the outset, I'd like to place on record my appreciation and gratitude to Sri Dhanya Corporate Care for having invited me to this very, very elegantly organized program. Well, I normally make impromptu speeches, and this is slightly no different. Every time G.K. Raju speaks about, being the vote topper in a council, I get reminded of the CA exams. There's only one difference. In the CA exams, you first put in the effort and then you get the result. Here, if you're a first timer, you've already got the result and you have to put in the effort, and I'm trying very, very hard. This is the 150th year of Swami Vivekananda. Incidentally, Madam is a great technical speaker, so I'm going to also provide a little bit of comic stroke spiritual relief in the next 5 minutes. This is the 150th year of the birth of Swami Vivekananda. What he said was, India does not need a man. India needs a woman, a lioness. It's that lioness I've always seen in C.A. Bhavani Balasubramaniam. Ladies and gentlemen, an applause. There's a very famous author, Jack Kerouac, who once said, I saw my life as an empty, open, glowing page and I could fill it up with whatever you wanted. I share a very similar kind of work profile with Bhavani Madam. You know, we carry our breakfast, we eat in the car. She also drives, I think. You normally use a driver. And then we do our makeup in the car. And then we try and maintain a very active lifestyle. And yet, Bhavani symbolizes compassion. She would never say no to any program, whoever calls. And it's kudos to her for being able to manage an extremely high-profile existence in Deloitte, a lot of risk, signing, and yet be there for all of us to share her knowledge here today. The second funny I found about it is something like this. When GK called me and said, I want you to be the chairman, I asked him a very small question. Are you sure it's the chairman or the speaker? Because here I am going to chair a session of somebody who's technically eminently superior to me, and age-wise she's senior. But then when GK is a council colleague and he's also in the executive committee, so I didn't want to rub him on the wrong side, and I said, fine. There's a very nice shloka which comes as part of the Ramayana. It says, Yatra Yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam, Tatra Tatra. Essentially, it says, wherever the Ramayana is played, apparently Hanuman will be there. Which is why when you play the Ramayana at home, you make a small column, you know, and you assume Hanuman is there. So I said the same logic will apply. Chairman or no chairman, if Bhavani is speaking, I'll be there. Coming to our topic of discussion itself, there's another very, oft-repeated Sanskrit quote that says, Kripanena samadhatau na bhutho na bhavishyati. And I will only use the last two terms. This is exactly what the Companies Act is today. It's na bhutho na bhavishyati. We've not seen anything like this before. And ladies and gentlemen, it's very unlikely in our lifetime or our generation or even the next two generations that we are going to come across a legislation like this. And no amount of conferences or seminars by a private organization or an institute will do justice to this legislation, which appears to look new every time, and we discover new things every time we read this act. With the sole exception of the Manusmriti and perhaps the Kautilya's Arthashastra and the Hammurabi's Code of Conduct, very few legislations in world history have been proactive. This legislation is yet another reactive legislation. If the Sarbanes-Oxley was the United States' response to the scams that rocked them, the Enrons of the world, then Companies Act 2013 is the Indian government's response to India Inc. and to all the stakeholders. They say that behind every death there's a doctor. This legislation seems to paint everybody with the same brush. It seems to believe that every management is a scamster and every auditor will abet a fraud. And one community on which this is going to be very, very difficult is the auditing profession. It sees very, very far-reaching complications for the auditing profession, and it's important that whether we are company secretaries or lawyers or auditors or the management, it's very important we go through this session. In my view, there are 2-3 key elements of this legislation that will prove to be game changers, whether it is for the management, the auditors, and one thing I foresee is a lot of conversions to LLPs. It may no longer make sense to run companies which are not really large, but to actually modify them to LLPs. And for the company secretaries and chartered accountants who are here, that could well be a significant business opportunity. For every problem, presents an opportunity as well. The other large area I see as practice opportunities for chartered accountants and most of us is consolidated financial statements. Now, the issue in consolidating financial statements is not merely the numbers, it's the rationalization of accounting principles. The opportunities having been tucked away, let me come to the risks. In my opinion, the following present fairly large risks. One, a seminal section which has been introduced in a miscellaneous chapter, which is section 447 on frauds. It says whether there is a gain or loss if there is an intent to deceive, there is a fraud. And as auditors, we are supposed to report on frauds which meet a particular threshold of 2% or 5%, or frauds which are happening regularly. Well, how does one understand what fraud is happening regularly or what not? And we don't know what our responsibilities are. The second big item that I foresee will be difficult to handle will be reopening of accounts. Now, post-tax assessments, could they call for reopening of assessments, accounts? We don't know. The third will be the Serious Fraud Investigation Office. And the fourth will be the much talked about